I think that, you know, it's just about music. I mean, you know, we write all our own songs and perform our own instruments, and, you know, we came up playing in just the worst clubs in the world and sleeping on people's floors and touring in vans, and I mean, we totally paid every due there is to be paid, you know. I mean, we built Blink-182 from nothing, and to even put us in the same league as a boy band is just, I mean, pretty much insulting to us, honestly.
You got these aggressive guitars, fast drum beats, and melodic vocals.
My name is Tom, and I play guitar and I sing for the band Blink-182.
Mark Hoppus, bass and vocals, and general overall good demeanor and looks.
You can tell in that we're naked. You can't actually see the dicks or the balls or anything like that, or the cocks.
Or the face of the butt.
Or, you know, whatever, but you can actually like see a little better the fuzz and know that we really are naked. I think that we'll definitely progress as a band. I don't think that you can record record after record and still do the exact same thing, because it just gets boring for you and for the people that are listening to your band. But it'll always be in the same vein. It'll always be like fast, sing-along, whatever songs. And but I just think that as we play, we're getting better as musicians, and we're getting better as songwriters and lyricists. Darren Doan has directed all 3 of our videos, and he's a friend of ours, and he totally understands our sense of humor, and he's just like one of us. He's not like a big director, whatever. I mean, he's a great director, but he's not like the kind of director that will tell you what to do. He's like, what do you guys want to do? What do you think about this? And we usually sit down for a night before whatever, and we just come up with the ideas for the videos, and he's like, yeah, we can totally do this, and we're like, yeah, then we can whatever. And so he totally understands our sense of humor, he understands the kind of people we are, and so when we go into film, he knows what we're like, and he just gives us a lot of freedom, and I've been really happy with the work that he's done for us.
When we first started off, we were pretty much all like skate punks when we come to the shows, you know? I mean, there were not so much like GBH fans or things like that were coming to the shows, but just, you know, Southern California punk rock kids.
Yeah, San Diego has a very huge music scene, especially for local bands and local talent, and we're actually, honestly, really lucky to have come from San Diego, the support that we had from the beginning, coming from a different city. Bands like Sprung Monkey 9 and Fluff and Unwritten Law and all these other bands that come from San Diego, Rocket from the Crypt, definitely we have ship with, and it's kind of a camaraderie. We get amped when we see each other on tour, and, you know, hope that each other do well, so. Well, first of all, don't do Blink tribute.
Yeah, don't tribute us. That's the kind of thing that starts world wars between 2 allies such as ourselves, you know? We don't want to, you know, I don't think, first of all, that you should be mating in a band. He's the best mate. So, I mean, if I'm taking that correctly, that means, you know, they're having sex with each other. The third thing is wait, what did the other say?
What was the question?
It said, oh yeah, don't come to where we are because we don't need any competition. We would get thrown out of the charts really quickly if people found out there's another band that's better than us. And they already found that out. I mean, when we first started, people came out of the woodwork and were saying there's so many bands that are better than you guys. Why are you even together? And we questioned that.
That's a good point. You know, that is a good point. We couldn't answer that. So, sorry we can't help you.
Yeah, just don't be better than us.
Remember the first time we went to Australia, it was our very first show there, and we walked out on stage and started talking about masturbation or whatever, and everyone just kind of stared at us. But now they've gotten what we're about. It's like the first time you play somewhere, people don't know what to expect from a band.
Right.
And when we come out and just start talking about really stupid sexual things, sometimes it throws people off, but I think once people understand that where we're coming from, there's a joke and it's all in good fun, then they get it more. It's fun. It's definitely a point that we've gotten to after a lot of hard work and a lot of touring, but yeah, it's great to be here.
I was driving along the freeway, which are things that we have here in America that you guys need really badly over there in England.
I think in England you call them ropo bumpkins.
So I'm driving on the freeway, which is where you get a whole bunch of people in cars that go fast to a destination. You guys don't have that in London. I mean, I know that. I've been there.
Ropo bumpkins again.
And so I get a phone call, and I pick it up, and I was like, hello. And he said hello, and I said, how are you doing? And one thing led to another, and we got around to him saying, hey, you should name it's our guitar tech, and he said that we should name our record Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. And Mark was right next to me, and he just goes, I don't get it. What, pants and jacket? I don't get it. Jacket, pants, I don't wear jackets. It's hot here in California. And I was trying to explain to him, jacket is a derogatory term for playing with thine own self, if you're a male.
And I don't know, and it seems like everything that anyone's seen over here, like boxer shorts or us naked or us making fun of someone, everyone grasps onto it and just holds onto it. And they're trying to relive that moment, but it only happens once, you know?
I just lost $200, and about 100 of that was because I wasn't sure if that was my money or somebody else's money. I forgot where I placed the bet, and it was a big, scary guy, and he said it was his, and I didn't want to fight him over it. So they went to go look at the tapes, and I was just sitting there all quiet, and they wouldn't go keep gambling. So we're sitting there at the table, and I didn't know what to do, and I was like, In the meantime, some adult film industry lady sat down next to me, and I think she started trying to hit on me. I didn't say anything, so she got up after she lost her money and walked away all mad.
I mean, there's a lot to be proud of, you know. Just filling the place up. Everyone's, oh my God.
We respect all the boy bands and all the bands that don't write their songs, but that can dance well and sing well.
Yeah.
But we reserve the right to make fun of those bands and make fun of ourselves, but mostly them first.
Well, see, it's like, you know, like you said, like with the Corns and Limp Bizkit and stuff like that are on one side, and like, you know, Britney Spears and Ricky Martin and the Backstreet Boys are on one side. So if you had to pick one group to make fun of, would you rather pick like fighting Corn, kick your ass, or fighting the Backstreet Boys? Well, yeah, but you see, I mean, look at us. Do you think that we could fight anybody?
I don't know. There's a band called 98 Degrees, which is...
They're pretty buff.
They're pretty big.
They could probably kick our ass.
Yeah. I don't listen to it all the time. You know.
Dude, I don't know. I've recorded it. I haven't listened to it since, man.
No, I listen to it. I probably listen to it once every couple weeks, you know.
Yeah. Still sound good?
I'm proud of it, and I I think we all are. I think
what about you, Travis?
Yeah.
Cool. I listened to it like a month ago in my car, and I got caught by a fan, actually.
That's bad. That's so bad when you're driving.
Okay, wait.
Oh, Ryan Gleason? No way.
Some stalker kid that calls him all the time. I was
Yeah.
at the beach, like an hour away from my house, and I just pulled up from my car, and then this kid comes up to the window, and he's all, Travis, and I was listening to our CDs. Oh, dude, you're listening to your CD? And I was just like,
No, Mark has the worst story though. Okay, this is a story that we have this famous, well, it's not famous, but a lot of kids go there, and it's a Mexican restaurant, taco shop that we're just so stoked on, and we love this place. We eat there every night. Well, Mark's up late one night, around midnight or something, and he decides, you know what, I want a burrito.
I was super sick too. I was totally sick, and I was in my pajamas. And I'm all, oh, it's midnight. There's gonna be nobody there. I don't even care. I'm totally ill. I haven't bathed or showered. I'm in my pajamas, and I drive out to Sombrero. That's what the restaurant's called. I'm totally blasting my music, and I'm rocking out. I pull into the parking lot, and as I'm going, oh my God, there's a bunch of kids here. This huge explosion. I ran over a bottle, and it totally sliced my tire. And so I pull in, blasting our music. And there's all these kids there. It's like, and I get out of my car, and I'm in my pajamas, and I'm all haggard and ugly. And the kids go, "Hey, it's Mark from blink-182."
I love being back home, and I'm excited to play here tonight. I really like this place, and we've only gotten to play here once. I've seen some great bands here, and I think it sounds really cool because it's small and everything's loud and big, and I love playing in places with people right in front of you, and we haven't done that in a while, so I'm excited. You know, honestly, it reminds me of when we first started that I feel like we actually can play better. You know, like I remember back in the day we totally sucked, but now
Like three-quarters suck.
Now it's like we're a little bit better than just sucking.
I think if we're still writing music, that if we're still writing music and we're still happy, then we'll still be a band. 3 years from now, I'm sure we'll still be influenced by the same bands we've always been influenced by, but of course we're gonna get better or learn more,
You know what? It seems like the last few records have gone pretty smoothly. We go into a practice studio and write the record in about 2 weeks, and then we take about 3 months to record it, and there you go. It's pretty much, I don't think it was more or less painful than Enema. It's just about the same, to be honest with you, but I think that the outcome is 1,000 times better than Enema. How do you know she's in the adult film industry?
Because she wasn't wearing one of those things that support the boobies.
Or do you think maybe she's a prostitute trying to pick up a job?
Well, maybe she's just in the adult industry rather than the adult film industry. Yeah, that's probably what it was. Maybe she was there as a prostitute, which would be, actually Mark knows the actual English dictionary definition of that. What would that be, a prostitute?
What do you mean a prostitute? Someone who receives monetary compensation in return for sexual services.
That's correct.
When we played the VMAs over in New York, we hired 30 little people to be on stage with us. They had to fly them over from Los Angeles, and they were all super drunk and just carrying on. I mean, the night of the show, we went backstage to say thanks for coming out, we appreciate your time, whatever. Open up the door, it's like a college dorm in there. Everybody's screaming, there's beer bottles broken, liquor spilled everywhere, people are drunk, there's pizza stuck to the wall. They're just like the craziest group of people you can ever hope to meet.
I don't know, I think there's a lot of kids that think that. I don't know if everyone thinks that, but I know there's a very large percentage of kids out there that wait every summer for it, because it's a really cool thing, and it's really got a great vibe, and it's not just about the music, it's really about a lifestyle, and that's what the whole thing is, and that's the only reason why it's been around for so long. And what happens is that this lifestyle is really attached to punk rock type of music and hip hop, and so it's kind of, those two types of music merge together with skateboarding and snowboarding and motocross and all that stuff, and you have like this very Southern California oriented lifestyle tour that travels around. And you see a lot of companies represented, and you see a lot of girls that are really hot and sweaty out in the summertime sun, and you got bands like us up there screaming obscenity, so it makes for a great time.
People that run the clothing company are totally down to earth. They've helped us out so much. They give us free clothes, and we wear them just to support them, I think. Right. But they've helped us out with getting roadies overseas when we've had to tour. They've helped us, with all kinds of stuff.
Even if I'm by myself in bed, I love to masturbate. I just love to give myself orgasms.
We all grew up like listening to bands like Descendants and like that. It was more the sing-along kind of punk bands.
We weren't into like Crash or GBH or anything.
We just went in and tried to write a better record than Enema of the State. Was our real only intent when we went into the studio. And it just so happened that the songs we wrote were all, some were a little faster, some were a little slower and harder, and that's just the way the record turned out.
I think it's actually, it's as if we built a punk rock time capsule and went back into 5 years ago when we were writing songs, and it's kind of that we just wanted, I don't know, that song we just wrote as like a mid-tempo pop punk song about a girl, and it just ended up being one of the better ones on the record, so it's the first one we released out to the media.
It's got more of the spirit of the Ramones and Screeching Weasel hanging over it, but definitely influenced by bands like the Descendants and all the early punk rock bands. I mean, it's a really, really simple song. It's a really straightforward 3-chord punk rock love song.
Anywhere I would think from like 20 to like 100,000 people, but it's like a lot of big.
If I were a typical German, I would think, if I were a typical German male, sorry Travis, I would think that this looks super cool. This is a typical German male.
With the accent.
What? And this is a typical German interview. Now, why in the new record are you not making any more good songs? You write these stupid songs about girls and about farting and poop and whatnot, and what did you tell about it? I don't like the new record. Why do you write that?
I think that's Jen.
That's German.
We needed a drummer because there was an emergency. Our drummer had to fly home.
So I had to learn all the songs like an hour or two before a show.
I remember we had to run to the music store and buy these little wooden sticks so it wouldn't be loud. So we'd play in the backstage room while the other opening bands were playing. He learned all the songs in 45 minutes and came out and played them so perfect.
Played like the next 2 shows.
And then after that, we needed a new drummer, and we're just like, well, we had 3 people in mind, but the one person that we had in mind, one of them was Travis, because we liked him a lot, and he already filled in, he already knew a lot of songs, and he was a big fan.
The funniest thing is like a kid might like all the small things and just know us from that one video and hear us on the radio. And so they go, oh, I want to go to the blink-182 show, and know nothing about us except that one song, and come to the show and think it's going to be like just a clean show. I mean, when we get up on stage, we say the most offensive things we can possibly think of to say. I mean, you see a 10-year-old kid and his mom out in the audience, and with just the stuff we say, after the first 2 minutes, the mom just freaks out and pulls her kid up and leaves. I love that. I think it's so cool.
Well, first of all, we've always taken the mindset that the way that we wanted to build fans was mostly through touring. And so we've been on the road. We were on the road 10 months last year, and I think that's a good way to gain real solid fans. Hopefully what will happen is kids will hear songs on the radio, and they'll go out, if they like the song on the radio, they'll go buy the record and start liking our band for the whole package, our whole band or whatever, and then they'll come to the show and understand what we're about. I think the kids can definitely relate to our lyrics because they're mostly about high school and love and whatever, girls and friends and things like that, more than they can relate to a band that sings about politics. So I think we get a lot of emails and a lot of letters from kids saying, I broke with my girlfriend, I totally relate to some of your songs, which is a really big compliment.
There's actually a casting agency for little people in the United States. Like, if you want to hire like elves for your Christmas party, or you want to hire, whatever, Oompa Loompas, or you want to hire little people for whatever, there's a casting agency, that's all they deal in. I have a piercing. Not because it was a fad, actually because it was a fad and I got into it. I only have one though, but I didn't want it on my face because I thought that it makes your face look off-center. So I got one piercing on my knee plate. Just one simple one, it hurt like crazy and I cried when it happened. I'm not sure still why I did it, but the rest of the guys in my band have piercings on their faces. They're stretching out the earlobes and they have tattoos across their arms. Basically a futile attempt to say, look at me! Look at me, I need the attention. Oh, I'm punk rock, I got some tattoos, I got some piercings. Oh, if I'm gonna get pierced, I want everybody to see it, I don't really back that program, but I'm more about, This is something for me and, you know, maybe my somebody special, and that's it. I'm not gonna like go out and advertise my punkness.
The record was a lot of fun. I don't know. We have an amazing producer, Jerry Finn. He's like a We Label is the only punk rock producer. I don't know any other ones personally, but he's worked with like Jawbreaker, Rancid, Green Day, Pennywise. He's done a lot of stuff. So it's kind of like we sit in there and we're so alike with this guy and make fun of people, make fun of everything, and say the worst possible things imaginable. And every once in a while, we'll actually pick up a guitar and do something. So the studio process is pretty fun. It gets monotonous sometimes, but you know, you're in there 12 hours a day for 3 months trying to. You know, what would I say? What I make it an analogy is, you know, just go out and spend all hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on the best recording equipment in the world, like, you know, mixing boards and microphones and amplifiers, just to record onto tape how bad of a musician you really are, you know. And so whatever. But the video is a lot of fun too. This video we wanted to not, you know. Basically, we just go, hey, instead of spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on lots of lights and cameras and making it all whatever, why don't we just take that money and go out and buy TVs and break them and go break cars and give away cash to, you know, anybody who wants it. And that's what we did. And so we filmed that over the span of a couple days and put together a video that looks like it was all done on like handheld cameras too. So it's just like we're running around throwing out cash into crowds of people and breaking cars, and we took a homeless guy to a makeover, like it was a day spa, massage, and yeah, he was genuine. Yeah, he
was dirty.
He was dirty. He was definitely dirty. It took a while to get him to go into the van too, but he did it. He's on the side of a street.
We did it in Hollywood, so there's no shortage.
Yeah, there's lots of homeless people. They have agents now, actually.
I think November is when we'll show up in the UK. We have a lot of touring ahead of us. We're doing a 11-week, 51-show US tour this summer. We're releasing the record and just pretty much hitting the road and going everywhere.
I really enjoy playing England. I love playing England. And the reason why, I think, is just because we base our shows off audience participation and our interaction with them. And the English have such a great sense of humor, and it's so dry and so much more developed than the rest of the world. Even so much more so than a lot of the Americans. And I only say that in a sense that, you know, even the Americans don't get our jokes, you know, because they're just like, these guys are idiots. But I really do like playing England a lot, and it makes me excited to think that we're building a fan base over there, and I really mean that with all my emotional heart I have here in my body. But it's hard to be our band and to play our shows and talk a bunch to places where they don't speak English at all, you know. So when we go to Europe, we like to focus, and actually London's one of my favorite cities on earth, so it's just kind of like, you know, it's a good experience.
Dreaded, hated, disgusting Europe. The most disgusting country on planet. Some places in Europe are pretty nice, but we don't go there. But I haven't seen any yet.
I started the band about almost 8 years ago, 93 or 92. And basically, I just want you to know that I'm responsible for anything good the band has to offer.
You see, there's only 3 ways you can sing, like sharp, flat, or in key, and I never do that middle one. I'm always like, so if that's counting as messing up, man, I'm all over the top. Oh, our last tour, first day in New Zealand, forgot the words like 4 songs. 4 songs, like a song starts, I'm like, shit. And like I'm going blah, 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 what's the words? And then the kids are looking at me because they haven't seen this in a while, and they're going, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, this is so not worth the money. And then then like the breakdown happened, and I'm like, okay, use the floor. And then I started again, and I'm like, shit, and I don't know the words, and it happened. And so I actually had my wife go out and buy the CD, our live CD, and I had to listen to it like 4 times or like remember all the words. Oh!
23 years old, I was born December 13th, 1975.
We do have plans for a tour. We're talking about something this fall. Hopefully it works out, and the song Rock Show shall be out, I would think, any week now. Presently.
Should be along presently.
That's what we think.
Tell all these people about the Philippines. We hear that in the Philippines, when a baby is crying, you suck on its penis to get it to be quiet. So I guess that makes me Filipino. If I'm crying, suck on my penis. Okay, Tom, shut the fuck up. Okay. Here we go.
We never think of anything funny, and we just accepted that about 5 years ago. We go, you know, let's just accept the fact that we're not going to be funny, and our jokes are stupid, and no one's going to laugh.
We were so lucky to have our friend Damon fill in, but it's hard. It's like, I don't know about other bands, but being a 3-piece, we rely on each other so much more, you know, and to have someone come in and fill in, it's just like, fuck, you know, you feel like you really lost, you lost 30% of your band, you know, and especially Travis, because he's pretty original what he does, you know, and you can't find very many drummers like him. So
Of course, there was a little bit of, some kids, that, just mindless kids, that whatever they see on the back of the record affects whether or not they like the band. But I think most people are intelligent enough now that they realize that you listen to bands for the music and not for what label they're on or whatever. You look for, the credibility of their music itself. And we still do exactly the same things that we've always done. Definitely, we've been on the radio, we've been on MTV, we're on a major label now. But the major label is, all they can do is present us as what we are. They can't make us something that we're not. They haven't even tried. And I think the major labels now are starting to understand that you can't take a band and try and change them into something that you want them to be, because then whatever they have that's special about them is lost.
Right.
Like, they just have to take a band and let the band do what they would do normally and, try and push that even more.
Right.
And MCA's been really good with us, and they've never tried to make us do something we didn't want to do. They've come up with, ideas for stuff, and we said, no, we're not comfortable with that, and they said, okay, cool.
Right.
I love Japan. It's totally different from anywhere else. I mean, the shows there were a little smaller. Australia, the kids went crazy, but Japan's just such a different experience altogether.
Well, that one back there, this one says hope. I hope I can get laid by a guy. The one in the front, can I say I'm gay? Basically, can I say I'm gay? On the like if you look on this Ghetto Blaster, that Ghetto Blaster is always playing homosexual music, like Morrissey, Erasure. The bird on his right arm that you see on the left there, that bird symbolizes a man swishing through the clouds, coming down and sleeping with him. I don't know, it's weird. I don't know why I'm in this band. I'm the only one that likes girls. I'm the only one that believes that guys and girls should be together and that babies should be made through the penis-vagina way, the old way. These guys are trying to create some weird, wacky, maybe the penis in the butt will get a kid. I don't know. I don't think that works, What? No, dude, don't come in here and try and act like you're, heterosexual, And I model a lot of enemas. I model enema bags. That's what I model enema bags. And today we're modeling one for the album cover, because we might call it Enema of the State. That was really good. That was really good, huh? Hey, that's a good. Hey, where's Mark? Hey, Mark, let's name the album Enema of the State.
Japanese kids they go crazy nuts during the song, just freaking out. And then as soon as you finish playing, they stop and they just look at you because they're trying to understand what you're saying.
Oh, okay, right.
They're trying to understand the English or whatever. And so it's a little disconcerting because you're playing and think, everything's rocking, the kids are going crazy, and all of a sudden you'll stop playing, everything will stop, they'll stare at you.
Travis has his company. Tom and I are involved in a different company called Atticus that it's a skateboard company that we're trying to help out and help build up, whatever. But it's not like, we definitely don't have a blink-182 clothing line. We don't want to be all merchandised out like a lot of the bands that you see right now that are, whatever. We just are trying to start a little thing and make it cool.
The only one that popped in my mind was one of the joke songs. We have a song called Stay Together for the Kids, and it's a song about going through a divorce that I went through when I was 18, all hell broke loose. You got divorced when you were 18? Oh, nuts.
I mean, we did the Warped Tour, and we did Snowcore where the venues were huge or whatever, but as far as headlining our own shows go, this has definitely been a step up for us. Some markets we're still playing, the same rooms that we've played for a while or whatever, but it seems like each show we go on and the venues grow a little bit.
If we're still writing music and we're still happy, then we'll still be a band. 3 years from now, I'm sure we'll still be influenced by the same bands we've always been influenced by, but of course we're going to get better or learn more,
Okay, there's Virgin Mary for mom, family for friends, drums, birds, devils.
Money for me that don't know.
Oh wait, yeah, devil. Let's get the money sign in there. That's what really matters.
Yeah.
What else do we got? Microphone.
Microphone. Is that for Elvis?
Yeah, that's just for singing in general, music. Bombshell for the ladies. What else do we got? Here's the bad stuff. This is the bad one right here. The girl on the rocket. And we've got Jesus. Henry, that's just like a belief in God, Okay, that's my Ghetto Blaster. That's my love for hip hop.
Your love for what?
And then here's my trucker ladies, because I love ladies. My Cadillac for my Cadillac I love. And Can I Say for Dag Nasty, Dave Somali. Beautiful. Tattoo on my leg.
Room for that?
There's I don't want to grow up a descendants tattoo because That band changed my life.
But he's doing his own thing now. He's playing a different band, and he's going back to college, so he's kind of got it together. Because Travis is a very good drummer, and I think that as a band we're a lot tighter now.
It was definitely a huge step on the way to where we are today, and the Warped Tour is just run by really cool people, and it's run for all the right reasons, and it has great bands that are on it, and it's a great attitude, and you know, it was one of the funnest tours we ever had. It's also one of the hardest tours you can ever do. It's a lot of travel, and it's a lot of sitting around in, you know, 100-degree weather out in the middle of nowhere in a parking lot waiting to play, and it's dirty and it's disgusting, but it's the best time you'll ever have.
Riverside's about like an hour away, but we all kind of grew up in the same scene, Southern California. You know, skating, snowboarding, whatever. Just grew up little skate rats. Definitely a lot of nudity in our videos, and I think our song, we're definitely having to walk kind of a tightrope between, you know, it's a serious song, so we want to do a serious video, but at the same time we're kind of known for having silly videos, so it's walking a tightrope between, you know, such a fine line between clever and stupid.
It's a festival put on by a radio station here in Las Vegas, and we've played it I think once before, and it's just a bunch of people come out to sit in the sun and get sunburned and get way too drunk and way too stoned and watch bands play.
Tom was actually in a movie called Idle Hands, and do we have a song on that, Tom?
Yeah, but that's off Dude Ranch Enthused.
Right. We also were involved in American Pie, obviously. We have a little cameo appearance in that and a song in that. And yeah, so we've been in a few movies. There's some movie from MTV coming out called Jailbait that we're supposed to be a part of.
It was actually our very first demo that we ever recorded in, it wasn't even a demo, it was just us with a recording off a boombox in one of our friends' bedrooms while we played, and we made copies for like 6 of our friends, and that's pretty much the extent of it. I mean, there might maybe be like 20 actual Fly Swatter cassettes in the world, but it sucks so bad and such a bad recording, and you know, I mean, it's honestly recorded on a boombox.
The only thing that is completely worthwhile of getting that record is some of the ingenious lyrics that we wrote back in those days. I mean, we would quote some, but we don't want to make you vomit onto the microphone.
Yeah, actually it was. Actually, she came on tour with us for 6 weeks one time in the very early days when we were sleeping in, I mean, seriously, we were sleeping in the van on the side of the road because we couldn't afford hotels. She just has a great memory, and she's a great writer, so when it came time to kind of like write a biography of blink-182, she was the one that knew all the facts. She actually introduced Tom and I back in the beginning, so she's more qualified than anyone to write the history of Blink.
When we were recording Dude Ranch, I was in the studio saying my biggest goal for this record is to sell 200,000 copies. I wish that we can sell 200,000 copies, and we're at 7 now, 700,000. So it's just blowing us away. We're just like, can't even believe that we've come this far.
I don't think we've changed. I just think we've gotten better at what we do. And you know what? We never set our sights on being anything other than successful in our own right at writing songs the way we can. And you know, if we sold a few records doing that, and we're happy, and we can go home and feel like we accomplished something. And then, you know, sometimes we can go places and people hate your guts as well, just because you sit, and that's what we always joke about, like, you know, Mark and I sit at home in our living rooms with an acoustic guitar, and we try and write rad little love songs about girls and stuff, and then people just end up hating your guts for it, you know, like, oh, you know, you don't write a love song punk rock enough. But, you know, I don't know. I think it is, it happens to every band, and it happens to, you know what, I found out that was really weird, it happens to industries too, like the shoe industry. Like skateboarding shoe companies get called sellouts and all this weird stuff because they chose to sell their shoes in large stores and stuff. And I thought that was kind of odd, you know, their shoes, you know. But it kind of extends beyond the borders of music. So, but whatever. Be successful or don't be successful. Just do whatever you can to be the best you can be. The United States Army. Thank you. That's like their slogan. Be the best you can be, the United States Army. So people go, fuck yeah. They go, yeah, I'm gonna be the best I can be. And they go, and I'm leaving home, and they sit at the bus stop, they get on the bus, and they get there, and some guy screams at you. You have to sleep with a bunch of other men, shave off your head, and just march all day long, and then end up just painting and sweeping for like the next 4 years until you can get out. That's the Army. Every once in a while, though, you can turn into like a guy that goes around and professionally kills people, but, you know, that's only a select few.
We went in definitely wanting to make a harder sounding record. We wanted it to be a little less polished than End of the State was. We wanted the guitars to be a little more prominent. We wanted things to just sound a little more edgy, but at the same time we were also listening to bands like Fugazi and Refuse when we went into the studio, and I think that kind of bled its way into the recording as well.
When I hear like a flashback of the 80s on the radio, and it has these giant songs of the 80s, and then you do a little research and find out how many records they sold, or how high that song charted on singles charts and stuff, and then ours do the same, if not better. I go, wow, we're one of those bands that I finally thought was this huge band from the 80s. You know, people might actually remember us for one little period of time.
What we wanted to do originally was a U.S. tour for a really cheap ticket price, but logistically it wasn't working out with trying to, you know, escort around all of our crew and the administration that has to travel with us. So we decided to do 2 weeks of club shows, smaller venues than what we would normally play, so we can do the cheap ticket price and be able to play like we did a few years ago when we were a smaller band. And so we are now, today is the last show for that, and today actually isn't even one of the club shows, today's a festival, but yeah, you know, so here we are in Las Vegas.
I don't know who else is on the bill. Newfound Glory's on the bill, and they're awesome. Let's see, Papa Roach is on the bill, Run DMC's on the bill, that's all that I know.
They don't tell us these things, they just tell us what to do. We're like pawns in the big game of the music industry here, you know, but it's not the same here in America like it is in England, you know. Those festivals are different. They're very diverse. They have a lot of good bands, and people have a lot of fun out here.
And it's 3 days long. Festivals in England are 3 days long, and people sit through the rain and snow and
we come out here
filth
and we play in a desert, and we just see a bunch of boobs from girls that live in trailer parks and stuff, you know. We see more breasts in Las Vegas, I think, than any other city. And this isn't a bad thing. I know that my tone sounds that like I'm actually against it, but we embrace the breasts of the desert people.
The album was pretty social recording. Well, the producer, Jerry Finn, is such a funny guy. He's like one of us. And if we weren't sitting around watching a show called Mr. Show, it's a sketch comedy. It's so super funny and raunchy. If we weren't watching that, we're cracking jokes all day. And so it was very laid back. It wasn't like, you know, we worked really hard though.
Travis came in a couple times.
Travis was there a couple times.
I was only there for a couple of days.
On Dude Ranch, we used a song called Degenerate that we'd written in the very beginning of our band, and we've gone back and used some different material.
The real reason why is because about this time in our career, we started running out of guitar riffs and like ideas, you know. And so we started pulling out of like the archives. We got all these like songs. Well, maybe we just like change the riff a little bit. No one will notice, you know.
Well, that's, you know,
that's
the magic of the recording studio.
It's kind of like when you're fixing your hair. You work really hard to make it look like you didn't work hard at all.
Exactly. What about you? Did you work hard on that today?
My hair looks so bad. I apologize.
It's different though. Like Southern California punk rock, like the Vandals. You see Warren, the guitar player, jumping around with pink Speedos on and jacking off in front of your face. You know, you're not gonna be like, that's not punk. That's more punk than you know, spiking your hair up any day. It seems like everything that anyone's seen over here, like boxer shorts or us naked or us making fun of someone, everyone grasps onto it and just holds onto it. They're trying to relive that moment, but it only happens once, you know?
I think we were terrible, but I think that we had a lot of potential, and I think that we had, you know, a lot of ambition and a lot of drive to try and get better and try and learn our instruments and try and write better songs. So, you know, it's one of those things where you look back at some of the songs, you just go, what the hell are we thinking? But at the same time, I just remember how amped we were to be playing in a band and just be creating music and doing something different, and so it's good memories as well.
Yeah, looking back and wanting to change myself would be more or less me thinking about last night's show. When I got up in front of a bunch of people and said I wanted to have sex with a 9-year-old, I thought that was funny. Until
a lot of people don't think that kind of humor is funny.
Yeah, I mean, of course I don't really want to have sex with a 9-year-old, but the idea of saying that in front of, you know, 4,000 people seems funny to me, you know, and I said it, and I think there were some parents that brought their kids that, you know, weren't too happy. So those rose-tinted glasses you speak of, I've been wearing since that show last night.
I totally hate that style of music, and I hate just the whole mentality behind it and just how staged everything is and how fake everything is, and it's just about looking good, and they're not even singers, they're just performers. We just went in and tried to write a better record than Enema of the State was our real only intent when we went into the studio, and it just so happened that the songs we wrote were all, you know, some were a little faster, some were a little slower and harder, and you know, that's just the way the record turned out, kind of.
No, you were rocking out, because it was a rad show. It was in Orlando, Florida. We sold out the House of Blues there. We were super proud of ourselves. We felt like we were all big time and stuff. We're on stage, we're rocking, and Tom's getting into it, and he does this rock and roll move where he's like jumping and running around the stage, and both feet fly up from under him, goes head up like this, lands directly on his ass, his guitar goes
They said, oh, you should have all these guys in their underwear with a medical thing. We didn't tie it together, it just happened to be that way. And in the video, the director's all, we should have you guys be naked. So everything we've been doing has been with very little clothes on, and it's now people expect it from us.
It's fun to get naked, right?
Not at all. We suck at dancing. Yeah, actually it was. Actually, she came on tour with us for 6 weeks one time in the very early days when we were sleeping in, I mean, seriously, we were sleeping in the van on the side of the road because we couldn't afford hotels. I think it's just funny.
We've had so many lawsuits, we now encourage them.
Please just lodge a lawsuit against us. We'd really appreciate it. The heart of the song is, about having hard times in your life, being depressed and going through a difficult period, but then finding strength to go on and finding, a better place on the other side of that.
We speak no different than kids speak, but we speak for them.
I gotta go on record here and say that school just sucks. We don't like to throw around the term voice of a generation necessarily, but, probably that. We probably are the voice of the generation for sure. Well, that's really our message to the kids, is if something's wrong with you, hate somebody else because of it.
Hi. Hello there, my name is Tom DeLong.
I have a canker sore and it got bigger, and so I asked Dr. Bruce, to help me on what he thinks it might be. We're hoping it's nothing creepy.
However, the prognosis about his canker sore is pretty much the same as the prognosis on Tom's penis. It's not the biggest one that Dr. Bruce has ever seen, but it's the placement of it that bothers him.
Okay, what the hell's in your nose?
Any chance of that being gonorrhea of the throat?
Please? Dr. Bruce,
Any chance of that being gonorrhea of the throat?
No, it looks like it.
Hey, I'm 23 years old. I was born December 13th, 1975.
Okay, this is normal salary. But watch what happens when you take it out here. Hey! We're all vegetarians!
I live in Encinitas, San Diego, California.
Mark and Tom were just super cool, easy to be in a band with, so I love the music, everything.
So we asked him, and he said yes, and the rest is history.
And then MCA and all these other labels came calling, and we definitely wanted to take our band to the next level. So we went and we met with the people at MCA, and they understood that we wanted to control our own destiny.
Then I'm like, Dad, we signed to a big label. He's like, okay. He's like not getting, and then I showed him, then I brought him a gold record, and that was like the big thing. I think then he realized. And then I'm like, Dad, I'm buying a house. He's like, huh?
This is exactly what I look like during sex.
Feels good. The photo session today is going actually quite well. I really enjoy getting makeup and my butt worked on. What I do normally before any photo shoot is I get my butt spackled, shaved, waxed, massaged, and buffed. Once my butt is done, I go ahead and we take out normally about 3 or 4 different lenses and hook them all together and try and get the craziest close-up we can. Okay, Travis is the new drummer of the band. He actually seems like he's been with us forever because we get along quite well with him. We've been quite long getting together, quite. He's got a lot of tattoos. If you turn around, you can catch the tattoos right now.
I took off my bass. Then I do like this little Russian dance. I go pick up my bass, put it on, and start playing the song again, because that's when the bass comes back in. So this time, I take off my bass, I go up, I do the Russian dance, I turn around, run back, and my bass isn't there. And I'm looking around, Tom had hid my bass while I was doing the Russian dance. So I'm looking around, I can't see, I look over my guitar pick, thinking maybe he grabbed it to tune it, and he's just going, I don't got it. So I'm running on the stage looking for my bass. Your arms are in the air, though. My arms are in the air.